This is the Injury Report presented by NYU Langone Health. For the New York Knicks, it's been an up and down season in terms of injuries, but the team is now in the playoffs that will start on Saturday, and they're hoping they're as healthy as possible for their postseason run. This is the latest edition of Injury Report, and we're going to talk about the Knicks' health and the playoffs. We're going to do it with Dr. Abigail Campbell from the Center for Women's Sports Medicine at NYU Langone Orthopedics, who joins me now. Dr. Campbell, how's it going?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good. We're going to talk about the Knicks here, and they've had 6 days off, or they will have 6 days off between their final game of the regular season and their first postseason matchup. How much will that rest help the players who are banged up and have played a lot of minutes? What kind of things have the players been doing or should be doing in terms of rest and recovery?
It should help significantly because while 6 days doesn't sound like a lot of time for you and me, they've got a lot more resources than we have, right? So they've got people working on nutrition, they've got masseuses, they've got people literally stretching for them, they've got ice baths, everything they could need for recovery. And so 6 days, I think, can go a really long way. We worry about, overuse injuries, right? We talk about load management a lot, which essentially refers to tracking the number of minutes players are competing over the season, and that directly has been associated with injury risk. So having this little window of time off is super important to recover and kind of regain some energy and strength. The second thing is sleep, right? These athletes are traveling. They're often going through different time zones. Sleep is getting interrupted, and there's several studies that show sleep deprivation or even sleep irregularity is going to contribute to injury risk. So I'm very hopeful that this 6 day window will give everyone a chance to catch up on sleep, get all those muscles stretched out by everyone in the training room, and be fresh for playoffs.
Yeah, Knicks fans are hoping for that too. And you mentioned playing time, and that's always a concern with Coach Thibodeau and Knicks fans. And the starters, they've played heavy minutes and haven't really been rested down the stretch. Jalen Brunson, he's 10th in the league in total minutes played this season. And since the All-Star break, Josh Hart leads the NBA with 40.5 minutes per game. How do you think those heavy minutes will affect them in the postseason?
They're concerning to me. I mean, like I'd mentioned to you before, there's plenty of research looking at direct correlation for minutes per game on average and injuries. So there was even a study that came out this year, so in the last few months, essentially connecting the number of minutes played per game with a higher risk of a season-ending injury. So 48 minutes in an NBA game, some of these players are playing 40 minutes. That sounds to me to be very concerning as far as longevity goes to get through playoffs.
Yeah, you wonder about the wear and tear on these players as they play more stressful minutes in more stressful games here in the postseason. I want to talk to you about OG Anunoby. He's missed 27 of 50 possible games due to an elbow injury since he was acquired by the Knicks on December 30th. Can he stay healthy through these playoffs? How should the Knicks manage him now that he's back from this elbow injury?
Obviously tough to say because it's not my patient. The elbow is difficult to recover from any kind of surgery, and from what I've gathered from what's out there, he did have a surgery around early February to remove a bony fragment from the elbow, which was an arthroscopy, basically small incisions and using cameras to fish things out. And then came back very quickly, and then mid-March had to come out for a generic elbow tendonitis. Elbow tendinopathy was what was told to the public. That could mean just about anything. That could mean something very mild or something more severe. So it's really a black box as far as how he's going to do. But given that he's been announced as able to come back, I'm hoping it was on the milder version of tendinopathy. He's either rested or had injections and is fully back. But from the surgery he had alone, from a tendinitis alone, neither of those should be career ending. So I'm hopeful that he will get back to full play. We just don't know the extent of what the problem was a month ago.
Yep, that is the hope for Knicks fans as well. He's been a key piece with him in the lineup. They've played very well. Mitchell Robinson suffered a surgery-induced stress fracture in his ankle, but he was a full participant in practice on Tuesday. Do you think it's too soon for him to return to a full load in terms of them manage his minutes, and how likely is it that he could re-injure himself here?
Great question. So we're about 4 months now. I believe he did have surgery in December for the ankle stress fracture and came back a few weeks ago to start playing again. So as far as fractures go, bones do heal in some ways faster than tendon tears and tendinitis problems. Bone heals in 6 to 8 weeks, but it's not just the bone that we're dealing with in this elite level athlete, right? So it's the mobility, the scar tissue that forms, the atrophy that forms. They need to get that full strength back to 100 110% before he's going to be able to play at full blast. So from a bony standpoint, we're 4 months in, should be 100% healed. Question is, what kind of rehab has he done to allow that muscle recovery, and is that back 100% or not? With all the resources that he has, I hope so.
Yeah, we hope so. Knicks fans are hoping for that, too. They've been managing the minutes for center Mitchell Robinson, and we'll see how healthy he can stay and the other Knickerbockers can stay during this playoff run. That is Dr. Abigail Campbell of the Center for Women's Sports Medicine at NYU Langone Orthopedics. Dr. Campbell, appreciate your time here on the Injury Report. Thank you so much.
Thank you.